Hello and welcome back to the Huddle. I'm Liam Santamaria, as you know, and I'm back from the States. 10, 12 days in America, scouting the next generation of up-and-coming NBA prospects and it's building our networks across the industry at the NBA Summer League. But now I'm back and I am excited for NBL 24, not too far away. I'm very, very excited that Delany is back in the league with the New Zealand Breakers this season. Of course, All NBL second team a couple of years ago, and a guy that everyone across the NBL has grown to love on and off the floor over the past 7-8 years. And after a year in Germany, he's back with the Breakers, and today he's back with me on the Huddle. So sit back, relax. Up next, Finn Diesel. Finn, guten Tag, my man. Very, very good to see you.
Hey, mate. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for the intro. I'm very happy and excited to be back too, and here with you now.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Where do I find you right now? You're in Auckland? You're Nelson? Where are you?
Nelson. Living the dream.
Lovely. What's the setup? Is the beach right in front of you out the window?
No, it's not. No. I'm kind of on a hill. It's not too far away, but yeah, it's nice, man. Slow paced, regional New Zealand, but it's really nice right now.
Did I just show my ignorance of New Zealand geography? Are you near a beach?
Yeah, we're on the coast.
Yeah.
We're on the coast. It's just,
that's
it's not right out the window.
Love it. As I said, man, so good to have you back in the league. Last season in Germany, how was Germany?
It was an amazing year. That's really the only way I can say it. I really loved my experience. Somehow I got I don't know if it's luck or what, but just kind of found a situation that was, couldn't really have been better. Had an amazing team, great coach, and I could go on and on. Really loved my experience and won a lot of basketball games. Learned a lot and progressed as a player and a person, and just so kind of grateful for the experience, really.
That's awesome. You guys won the Champions League, which is massive.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, really successful season on the floor. But I know that kind of doing that, making the move and doing that for you was more than just about basketball. It was a life experience. Tell me about the city of Bonn.
I mean, I think it was about basketball. More so than anything else. The city of Bonn was, I didn't really know much about it before. It was the capital of West Germany for 40 years. Right next to Cologne there, it's about 300,000 people, so it's small, but just great people. They love the baskets, they love their basketball team, and it's a great place to hoop, really.
Did you sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Nein.
Ein bisschen?
Very little.
Okay. No, you're just enough to get by.
Enough, yeah.
Okay. And so what about, I've been to Berlin, Munich, that sort of side of Germany on West, like over near the Netherlands, Belgium. Like, is it different to those other kind of bigger cities in Germany? Does it have a bit of is it beer halls? Is it, what is it?
I think there's a little difference than everywhere. I think the stereotype was that the people are a little bit more outgoing and things like that. I'm not sure how true that is. My only experience with Germany before I went was a trip to Berlin without basketball, which was a much different experience than with basketball. It was a great time, man.
You said you grew on and off the floor. Tell me about the basketball. How did it differ from what you've experienced playing in the NZNBL, in the NBL for the Breakers, FIBA ball with the Tall Blacks, NBA Summer League? How did the basketball differ from those experiences?
Yeah, I think when you talk about European basketball, it's pretty broad, There's a lot of different leagues and styles, and normally people say this is how they play in Europe, and then that's like a blanket stereotype where it's not. It changes from team to team and country to country. The main thing with where I was, I just found a really high level of intensity every single day. And I went on about the team in that intro there, and one of the main things was that everyone was just about winning. Everyone was about winning from in the whole organization, but it really showed on the floor and the way we played, and how connected everyone was, and things like that. I think just small details in how we played, and things like that were new to me and a new experience, and I think just little things that helped winning were the main takeaway for me.
Okay, nice. Did you catch up with any of the Kiwi or the Aussie lads that were in Germany over the past 6 months or so?
I had some good battles with Yanni. I loved connecting with him. He's obviously a very good friend. We played 3 times against each other. He won twice, we won once, and then they had the early exit from the playoffs. Unfortunately, I thought we were going to have a series with them down the road, but we didn't. It would have been nice to have a longer battle. He was the main one. It was always awesome to see him, and he was doing super well.
Nice. Is he? How was he playing? How was his year?
He played really well. He was on a very high level team. So had was relied upon to do what he does really well. But things he does well: scores around the basket, plays extremely hard, and little intangibles that a lot of others can't.
We missed both of you guys greatly last season. We've obviously 7 years for you in the league, much shorter than that for Yanni, but we're gonna grew to love both of you guys being in the NBL. Now you're back. You are back with the Breakers. What brings you back to your home country team?
To win. That's as simple as that. A big part of me really wanted to continue in Europe, and I've been very honest that I'll continue there later on, but the deciding factor was that the most meaningful thing for me was to win a championship with Breakers. So in New Zealand, and in a team that like you said, I'd spent a lot of time with, I'd grown up with, and with the people there that I'd been through a lot with. So that was the one and only reason, really, just to chase success and a championship there, and I believe we will, and that was it.
Wow. So where does that come from, man? You're a kid that grew up watching the Breakers and those Mika Vakona and Kirk Penny and Phil Jones, those kind of successful teams in the early days, that 3-time championship winning team, that won another one a year later, and then you come up as a development player and you start to become the face of the franchise there for a minute. Was it just that kind of burning love for the Breakers that continued to kind of flame away for you?
It was a burning desire to win in a place that I hadn't yet. You know what I mean? It kind of didn't sit right with me. It still doesn't. That I kind of haven't done that there, and I keep saying as well with the people that are still there, the players and Modi and the staff, and it became very simple in the end. It became a very simple, easy decision that I wanted to win there, and that's really the only metric I used to make the decision.
Did you watch the team last season all the way to the grand final series?
I don't really watch anything. I watched a couple grand final games, and I checked up on the grand final games, obviously. But yeah, I didn't watch a lot. I mean, I had so much basketball, I had so much hoops.
Of course, and our games were happening while you're asleep. So
yeah, they went at a great time. So
no,
yeah, I didn't watch a lot during the year.
You mentioned Modi before, man. I think maybe 2 years ago we had a conversation, and I was asking you about the huge jump that you'd made in your game, and you really just wanted to talk about Modi and the work that you'd put in with him and the impact that, Coach Shamir for sure, but specifically on the day-to-day, the work that you've done with Modi. Now he's the head coach of the team. How you feel about the fact that you're gonna be playing for him now when you step out this season?
It's very exciting for me. It's very exciting. It's a great feeling. I'm very happy. happy about that. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a huge part of the reason to come and play for. It's very important to me. I mean, I think anyone who you work with, who you work with, who you go to work with, who you fight with, and things like that. His values as a person and as a leader, I think, are similar to mine. I believe, and that's something I really value, and who you want to play for. And I'm really lucky. I could say I had a relationship with him and a team, and the team that I could say, look, I want to come back, and they were really keen on it. Not a lot of players have that. So to be able to not choose, but in a way be able to choose where you play for and who you play for, it's a great feeling. And yeah, it's exciting. It's cool.
It's pretty cool that you guys came. I mean, you guys had 2 really tough seasons together, man, during COVID, stuck in the Docklands, Newquay, Quest. I probably sent chills down your spine when I mentioned the name of that joint. And you come out of that like tight, like wanting to reconnect. I think there's a potential to come out of that experience and being like, you know what? I think if we never see each other again, that's probably for the best. But you've clearly come out of that like with the completely opposite.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. It was hard that those years. They weighed on me, especially the second one. But I mean, the club was in a much kind of better position after last year than after that, and I think so am I. And yeah, I think talking about Modi and other people around, you can fracture through experiences like that, but you can also go closer together. And I guess have a burning desire for, like I said, success with people like that after years like that. Yeah, Modi also helped me through those years a lot as well. Through the ups and downs. He's a very consistent person, so with ups and downs, he was always himself as a coach, and which was great.
It was very, very cool what happened with the Breakers last season, man, because like one game away, just maybe one quarter away from winning the championship. But after those 2 tough years, being able to go back to Spark and reconnect with Breaker Nation, I was in the building for the 2 championship series games that were there, and it was nuts, and it was passionate, and there was the love for the Breakers was kind of just permeating through that building. There was like the elephant in the room for me was that you weren't there. Like you'd been through the journey over a period of time with this team, and that you weren't there. I'm really excited to see you back with that squad. We're re-immersed into that environment this season, and I'm sure you're feeling excited. Obviously, you're going to wear the Tall Black jersey soon in the World Cup. Sure. That's a big part of it, but also reconnecting with, that Kiwi family this season as well.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think it matters too much that I wasn't there. I think the club I think the club's really important to basketball in New Zealand, and it's important to have that team in Auckland. Connected with their fan base. It brought me a lot of, I heard it was great when they came back, it brought me a lot of joy to know for the players and the team, but, also just basketball as a whole in Auckland and New Zealand. It's an important bridge to the NBL, obviously, for the youth to see. And I'm very excited to be back to play and, chase something. Yeah.
You talked about the people that you work with. It's all, for you, so much of it is about that. How do you feel about the way that the squad and the roster's shaping up?
Really good, really good. Will's obviously amazing. To have Tom back and guys like that, I'm really excited about playing with them. And helping each other grow more, winning together. Things like that, and Modi too, the coaches, everything. I'm really happy to be a part of the team.
So one of the things that I love about you, man, is that you're a team first guy. Like, they've got an import at the 4, and you're like, and that was already kind of basically in place when I imagine you were having these conversations. So a lot of people would be like, oh, well, it would have been great to come back, but it doesn't seem like it's going to work. You're like, great, let's build out a squad to get this done.
Yeah, it's interesting. So some guys, some players think that having lots of good basketball players on the team is a bad thing because this just doesn't. There's no logic in that. You know what I mean? Like you want deep teams, you want depth at every position. You want guys to be able to play multiple positions. Zylan plays 4 in the 5 and the 5 in the 4. I'm a 4. I can play a little bit of 3. I can play a little bit of 5. It's not so clear cut as that. And to me, to have depth, to have competition at every position is only a good thing. I think it's extremely selfish if people are like, I can't have this guy. Oh, it's a bad thing if this guy's in my position because then there's no room there. That's competition, That needs to be there every single day, in every position, to make the team better, to make players better, to win ultimately. You know what I mean? You need conflict at every position. I believe in practice. So it's great. It's fantastic.
And it is. The reality is, though, a lot of people think that way that you were talking about. Like it just, across the world of professional sports. And they're like, listen, I'm out here making my money and I need my minutes and I need my numbers and this is my career and so on and so forth. But this is the way that you just spoke about it is sadly is actually more the exception than the rule.
100%. Yeah, I think you're right. Sadly, I mean, we play to win. It's really as simple as that. I think it's as simple as that. I think a lot of players kind of believe that they're about winning and want to do the right things. I mean, maybe having really losing seasons, makes you really think about what's important and things like that. But I mean, I try and see it very clearly. What's best for winning?
We were. I was chatting about you. I'm not sure if your ears were burning. I was chatting about you the other day. We were in the car in Las Vegas, and Howard, the cameraman, was like, "How's Finn Delany?" I enjoyed Finn Delany a couple of years ago. He was good. We were driving past the Venetian where we did the walkthrough a few years ago, and he was missing you just quietly.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Howard. Appreciate you, man.
Tall Blacks, man, right around the corner. What's the next? When's camp? What's the next step? How does this play out?
Man, it's exciting. It's really cool. We get together next week, and we start the preparations in Auckland, and then basically travel to every continent in the world before landing in Manila. We have a lot of travel, but yeah, it's an exciting time. Play for the Tall Blacks is obviously amazing. It's been like I haven't played a lot for the Tall Blacks in the last few years, so I can't wait to play with those guys, compete, be the underdogs, and go and beat teams that other countries think that we can't, but we know we can.
Yep. I remember your last campaign, 2019 World Cup. You guys shook it up a little. Yep. Like Corey was one of the leading scorers of the competition, played a super high tempo, and like really took it to some squads. What's the kind of feel amongst the group and you as a leader now within that group coming into this campaign?
Yeah, I think we all feel a responsibility to kind of push the program every time that we're together and grow on what people have done before us. So we always compete with big nations. We do, but that's not really enough. I think now we want to go and win and beat teams that beat teams. Like I said, we have Greece and USA in our pool. There's no reason why we can't beat them. And that's what we're going to prepare to do, and I believe go and do. That's the feel, I guess, but it takes a lot of work. It's easy to say that now, but there's a lot of work but before then. So really it's just about preparing the right way first. And it's exciting, playing with those guys that we've played with for years. And as you said, a little bit older now, more responsibility on the leadership end for a lot of us that have grown up together, and I can't wait.
Love it, man. Love that mentality. That's like, it's kind of reminds me a little bit of what Bogut and Paddy and Joe with the Boomers did a few campaigns back and said, you know what, like we're actually going to go out and say we want to win the gold medal.
Yeah,
And that's what we're
100%.
aiming for. Like, you're coming into a tough group. You got Team USA in that group, and you're like, I don't see any reason why we can't actually beat that and the other teams in this group.
Yeah, I think, it's always amazing to play really good players, and really good teams. But this is a given now, at the World Cup. Okay, we're really lucky to be at the World Cup is amazing. But the Tall Blacks now, we're going to play these teams and we're going to compete against them. That's a given. You know what I mean? So it's not enough to just take that, You can't just go and compete. You can't just prepare to compete. Like, we're going to win, and that's the only mentality that we have.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, good luck. I'm going to enjoy watching. I'm going to enjoy watching that campaign, and then I can't wait to see you on the Gold Coast at the Blitz in the Breakers jersey as you gear up for the NBL 24. Great to have you back, and great to catch up.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good to be
Awesome.
back.
Speak soon.
Thanks, bro.